The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your Coffee Time crew.
Well, good Wednesday morning, everyone. And as always, welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. So anyway, I got it's me and Carol up in here today. So good morning, Carol.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
So, so anyway, today, for those that got the reminders, hopefully you got both of them. There are two interest groups today. So starting off at 2 p.m. Pacific time, we got the Blind Kitchen with Deborah Erickson. Great lady. She's a chef. Now she's started her own business where she's in the business of selling adaptive products that help us out in the kitchen. I mean, she's got a lot of good stuff over there that is very, very useful for us. So go over there, check it out. She's always featuring something on her her group. So might find something in there you want, or you can always go visit her website, and check it out and see what all she's got. She's got a lot of good stuff. But anyway, after that, at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we got AI for beginners, and hey, trying to learn how to deal with this stuff and learn how to use it before it learns how to use me, right? So that's the way I look at it anyway. But it's a great tool if you know how to use it, and it's you got to try to stay on top of it and not let it frustrate you, all that kind of stuff. But again, there's a lot of good stuff going on in there. So hey, you come on in and we'll help you out, and maybe you might know something that might help us out. That's the way we do it over here. So we're just trying to help one another on that note. So anyway, I heard you say it's raining over there with you, Carol. And it's not. I wish it was raining over here. It's going to be. We're actually getting into the starting of a heat wave that's supposed to last for a couple of days over here. So we expect to get up into 100 degrees today. So.
And it's pouring down here right now. We had 104 yesterday, but it is pouring down right now.
Wow.
Crazy weather.
I'd love to have some rain. And California, we need it. I mean, we got water right now, but at the same time, it just helps keep everything lush and green and fresh and wash all the smog out the air and all that kind of stuff. So I love
plus,
that.
you all are dealing with all those wildfires. My condolences just go out to everyone, and that it's just trying to just keep everything leveled. Wow. And, so that's just extremely dry heat.
Wow. And again, that's another reason for the rain. Put some water on that stuff. It won't be so easy to ignite like that. Green does not ignite like dry brown grass does. So it just becomes fuel for the fire. But as long as it's green, it'll hold that fire off. So I ain't never seen green grass burn. So, but anyway, we're talking about some other stuff moving forward. We got, we talked about it a little while back that it was coming around, but now I guess it's really becoming an issue, and we're talking about measles. So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this one. A significant public health alert is making headlines as the Pan American Health Organization, or PAHO, and the World Health Organization have issued warnings about recent measles outbreaks in the Americas. This isn't a historical footnote. It's a current and pressing threat that underscores the fragility of public health achievements. For decades, measles was considered nearly eliminated in many parts of the region, but recent data reveals a concerning resurgence, putting vulnerable populations at high risk. The alerts specifically point to several countries experiencing outbreaks, driven by what experts call a critical drop in vaccination coverage. This situation serves as a stark reminder that diseases we thought were under control can quickly return if our collective guard is dropped. The primary cause behind this alarming trend is the widening of vaccination gaps. The MMR vaccine, which protects against measles, mumps, and rubella, is safe and highly effective, but its success depends on maintaining high immunization rates across the population. Health officials report that vaccination rates have fallen below the recommended 95% threshold in many areas. This decline is attributed to several factors, including disruptions in routine healthcare services during the pandemic, the spread of vaccine misinformation online, and growing hesitancy among some parents. When a community's immunity wall is weakened by these gaps, it creates an open door for a highly contagious virus like measles to spread rapidly among those who are unprotected. The consequences of a measles outbreak are severe, especially for the most vulnerable. This includes unvaccinated young children, pregnant women, and individuals who are immunocompromised due to other health conditions. For this latter group, which can include people with a range of disabilities or chronic illnesses, contracting measles can lead to serious complications like pneumonia, brain swelling, and even death. The guidance from PAHO is clear and urgent. Families should ensure their immunization records are up to date. It is crucial to recognize the symptoms, which typically start with a high fever, cough, and runny nose, followed by the signature rash, and to seek medical advice immediately if measles is suspected. Ultimately, these outbreaks highlight a critical public health lesson. Individual health choices have profound community-wide impacts. The concept of herd immunity, where high vaccination rates protect those who cannot be vaccinated for medical reasons, is essential. The current situation in the Americas demonstrates how quickly progress can be undone and places an immense strain on healthcare systems that are often already stretched thin. It is a call to action for renewed public education campaigns to rebuild trust in vaccines and ensure everyone has access to these life-saving immunizations. This provides a clear view of a pressing public health issue. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, for me, I think it's a shame, that all of these anti-vaxxers have gotten to this point to where we have now allowed, a disease that had been pretty much wiped out here in the United States. Now it's making a comeback because of anti-vaxxers, right? To me, that's just a shame. Number one, I hope that kids still have to go through their vaccinations and stuff like that for school and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I'm hoping that, doctors themselves will, stand true to their oath, to not do any harm and to offer these vaccines, to people, when they come through. Because again, this stuff is needed. It's like I say, herd immunity is not only for our protection, but it's to help protect the people that, for medical reasons, as I said, cannot take the vaccine, right? So again, if they live in a society where this disease is prevalent, they're doomed in essence, right? Because they can't take a vaccine. So they're depending on the rest of us to stay vaccinated so that we don't, develop this and spread it to them. So I just think, again, it's a total shame that the way, especially with, with this administration and who they got as, health and human secretary, whatever.
Right.
Dude that wants to take his grandchildren and go swim in a toxic river, again, this, come on, man, you just,
that's crazy.
Don't do that. If you don't believe in it, okay, then don't do it. okay, but don't stand in the way of the people that have faith in this stuff, that they have faith in the medical sciences. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, again, if it wasn't for medical science, man, we wouldn't have the lifespan that we have now. I mean, people living in their 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, I know a brother that's 80 years old and still working every day. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people think, oh, well, back in the day they lived long. No, they didn't.
No,
The
they
average
didn't.
lifespan was, 50, 60 years old if you were lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Most people died in their 30s and 40s.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this stuff has just, it has gone a long way. It's come to help us. We're living a much better, healthier life now because of these vaccines and stuff. I'm not going to say that, they ain't hurting us with all they doing to our food now that they've industrialized, all that kind of stuff. They got all that other. So, I mean, we need all the help we can get, and you taking away one of our avenues of help by doing this kind of stuff. And not only that, like I said, you are exposing a certain sector of our population, of our society, that for medical reasons just cannot take these vaccinations. Now you're making them, if they get sick, they're doomed. They're doomed. There's nothing we can do for them. I mean, we have to just hope and pray that, that they survive, But again, the reason they came up with all this stuff because people wasn't surviving. So anyway, it's a big issue. It's a real, real big issue. So I'm with it. I'm with vaccines. I don't have a problem with vaccines. I've been getting them all my life, and I'm gonna continue to get them until I leave here. So that's just the way I am about it. So what you got with it, Carol?
I mean, I echo you on that as well. I've been taking vaccines my whole life, and when I have a mark on my arm, it's like a vaccine tattoo from taking all of these shots at one time. But it's just something that I would just continue to do. Now there are some people who have ailments where they cannot take the shot. There are individuals who choose to not vaccinate at all. Um, and there are people based on their religion. They just don't do it. And they are here. For whatever reason, I'm not a person to judge anyone. If that's what you wanted, I even know people who they refuse to take a shot. I don't know what's in that shot. Well, I mean, I don't know what I'm eating either, but I got to eat to live. I don't know what I'm drinking either, but I got to drink to live. So, I mean, it's just that circle that I have to continue to do. But whatever anyone believes in is whatever somebody believes in. But like you say, they eradicated this here, and now it's back, and school has started, and there's more people out because we're no longer masked up, and feel like we can get outside a little more. So it's more stuff that's just out there that we just can't even name. But getting vaccinated against this stuff to me is an ideal thing. I mean, I saw something on the news where for the flu vaccine, now you can get this nasal spray and hold your nose down on one side and spray, and hold your nose down on the other side and spray. And boom, you've done your flu shot at home. You don't even have to go to the doctor's office no more. They trying to make things so convenient for you, and your insurance covers it, depending on what insurance you have. But I mean, they're just constantly trying to involve medical science. I love that stuff because I mean, it's helped us, like you've said, Ed, to get to the state to where we at. No, it ain't normal for somebody to work full time at 80 years old. But I got an uncle that's at Baylor Hospital, been there for over 50 years and still working. I got a neighbor down the street, 94 years old, don't have a cane, walking, doing yard work, and I'm like, how do you do that, Mr. James? And he said, you just keep moving, you know. So I I think that he's getting vaccinated, and he's able to just get up and go, and continue to live his best life. And we should be able to do that too. Them vaccines are there for a reason, and I'm gonna keep taking them, whether I know what's in it or not, because I'm gonna keep eating. Whether I know what's in my food or not, I'm gonna keep drinking, because I don't know what's in that water. Some of that stuff I can't even pronounce, and I know
Well,
chemistry,
well, I
but
mean,
I
again,
can't pronounce it. So I mean, I got to do all that to survive. So why not take shots to do the same thing?
Well, I mean, again, I'm with whatever the vaccines are. Whenever I go to the doctor, I say, "Oh, well, you do for this and you do for that." Okay, well, give me everything I got coming.
Right.
So,
Right.
well, no, well, we can only give you two, and then you had to come back for the rest. Okay, no problem. Book my appointment. You say I need them, I need to come back up in and get them.
Right.
Now, when it comes to the food, I mean, it ain't nothing we can do. I mean, there's nowhere that I know of at this point where we can go buy, meat, beef, chicken, or pork that hasn't been pumped full of steroids.
Agree.
Again, if just talking about this earlier with somebody else, if I had it my way, man, that Powerball, if I hit that Powerball, oh my goodness, I'm starting my own ranch. I'm gonna grow me some cattle that ain't got no steroids in it.
Woo.
I'm gonna raise me some beef, some chicken, some pork, all the stuff that I eat. I'm raising. It might take me a couple generations to get all that stuff out of them, but again, at some point, I'm gonna have me some meat that I can go in there and eat, and I ain't got to worry about it, what it's doing to my life. All this obesity and stuff that we're dealing with within
Right.
society nowadays. It ain't because of the way we eat; it's because of what you putting in our food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's doing it. You putting all these steroids, these growth hormones, and all this stuff. When we eat that, okay, guess what? We grow right along with the meat. We are what we eat, as they say, right?
Right.
So,
That's right.
you got to be careful about all this kind of stuff, and I'm not with all that. So,
Well, I mean, you think about, I think about my family. They're from the country and they worked the field. They were country people. They had cattle, and I mean, they ate all the real butter, the real lard, the real stuff that give us a heart attack. But they were surviving and going through it. And I'm like, ooh, but that food was better, and they had a job to where they were out there working to where they were still being able to be active. But now, when you try to eat some of that stuff and get out there, you be so tired and sluggish and wonder, well, maybe I need some vitamins, or where you gonna get those? Unless you buy them in a bottle, because it's not in the stuff that you buying in the store, putting in your mouth. Really? So it was just different back then. So I won't blame you, Ed. Get a farm and get see what some real beef, some real chicken, some real pork tastes like. Cause what we
well,
eat
I mean,
now is just,
even
we
at
have to
that,
season it up. It's so bland.
well, even in my lifetime, I mean, the meat just don't taste the same as it did when I was a child.
No,
It's
no.
it's too commercialized now. It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just way out there now. And
Yeah.
I mean, I seen something the other day where they got some cats is hanging out at different spots and they selling meat that has not been grade tested.
Oh wow. Not cured
Okay,
or nothing.
I mean, so I mean, again, no, I'm not buying that meat. No, you ain't got no. I don't know what was where that meat came from, what y'all gave it, whatever. No, I'm
Mm,
not dealing with that.
right.
So no, I mean, I'm sorry. As bad as this stuff is coming out the store, I got a better chance with that than I do buying something out the back of your truck out of an ice chest.
Right. Right.
Well, you can get 20 ribeyes for $32. Okay, dude. Number one, that price sounds ridiculous. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I mean, no, I'm the reason you ain't it's so cheap is because you cut corners with this stuff. I'm not no, you're not cutting corners with my life. I'm not gonna cut corners with my life. So the same thing. I'm not gonna cut a corner. You want to cut a corner and cut out these vaccinations and stuff. I'm not doing that. Every time I walk in that doctor, am I due for anything? Okay, if I'm due for it, let me have it because I want it. Because again, I'm 68 years old now. I mean, I'm already outlived my parents and my grandparents on both sides. So, I feel I'm blessed to be this old, but at the same time, I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing for the last 68 years to stay here. And part of that has been getting vaccinated when I needed to get vaccinated.
All
But I
right.
mean,
I
that's
hear
just the
you.
way I live my life. You can live your life the way you want to live yours, but I'm gonna live mine this way. So,
Right. Keep poking
but
me too. That's the way I feel. Because so far it's enhanced me. And it's made me just continue on. I haven't had any complications based on any shot that I've had, but I've seen some people who haven't had it suffer a little bit more than I have.
I hear you.
you
So,
know, and I've had the flu, and I've had chicken pox. you know, I never had the mumps, but I know if I ever catch them, and they say they're supposed to be worse as an adult, I'm gonna get me some sardines and put them on my neck. That's what the old folks did. You ain't
I
never
hear
heard
you,
that?
baby. No, not that one, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I've heard plenty of
It's the
old
juice. It's
school.
the fish oil that's supposed to make the lumps
I
go
got you.
down.
I got you. I know
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
kind of
So
one. I just
I'll be
ain't heard
stinky
that
for a
one. So,
while and draw a few cats on 4 legs, but I'll be
yeah.
well.
Anyway, we at the end of this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this promo going, and we'll
Promo.
get
Okay.
into the next one.
All right.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Hey, Coffee Time crew, we got something new. Support the mission and look fresh too. Fresh rock that blue with the logo in white. Blind United shirts, yeah, they feeling right. Just 20 dough and you're part of the cause. Helping blind folks level up, no pause calls. From Jaws with Andy to Hard Ace Tips. Support group love and crochet kits. Movie nights roll and the vibes are lit. Every shirt you buy helps all of it. So cop that tee, be proud to wear. You're lifting up lives with every pair. Email us now, don't let it slide. Info@Blind United or join the pride.
All right. Well, again, if you want to help support Blind United and all that we do here, and with all the stuff that we provide to everybody for free, one great way to do that is to get a T-shirt. Again, they really fly. Nice royal blue with a white logo on them. A 100% cotton shirt. So nice quality shirt for the money. You ain't gonna beat it nowhere else, and you're helping a great cause. Hey, but maybe you're not somebody that wears a T-shirt. Guess what? You can just donate a couple bucks. I don't care what it is, $5, $10, $100, whatever. We'll take it, whatever it is. We can use it. It'll help us do what we do and make things, continue to provide services for our community for free. So for those, especially for those that can't get services any other way, man, it's a lifeline. So anyway, come on out and help us out. We really, really appreciate it. So anyway, we were just talking about vaccines and all that other kind of stuff. It basically has to deal with your health. So here's another barrier that we face when we're trying to deal with our health management. Check this one out.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this second topic. In today's world, managing your health often means navigating the digital front door of your provider, the online patient portal. These platforms promise convenience, a one-stop shop for booking appointments, viewing lab results, messaging your doctor, and paying bills. For many in the sighted world, they deliver on that promise. However, for blind and visually impaired individuals who rely on screen readers, these portals can often be less of a convenient tool and more of a digital brick wall, creating serious barriers to accessing essential personal health information. The dream of streamlined healthcare management can quickly turn into a frustrating exercise in trying to decipher unlabeled buttons and inaccessible documents. The challenges are frustratingly common. Screen reader users frequently encounter login pages with visual captchas that have no audio alternative, effectively locking them out before they even begin. Once inside, the landscape may not be any better. Critical information like blood test results or imaging reports is often delivered as an inaccessible PDF file, essentially an image of text that a screen reader cannot decipher. Navigation can be a nightmare, with illogical heading structures, buttons, and links that are simply labeled button or link, and appointment scheduling calendars that are completely unusable without a mouse. These aren't minor inconveniences. They are significant obstacles that can prevent a person from being a fully informed and active participant in their own healthcare. So, what can you do when you hit one of these digital walls? The first step is to shift into a mode of proactive self-advocacy. Before getting stuck, try calling your provider's office. Ask to speak to the office manager or a patient advocate. Inform them that you are a screen reader user and inquire about the accessibility of their patient portal. You can also ask if they have a designated support person for accessibility issues. More importantly, you have the right to request your medical information in a format that is accessible to you. This could be a secure email with the information in the body text, a phone call from a nurse to review results, or even documents mailed in large print. When you do encounter a specific barrier on the portal, being precise in your complaint is key. Instead of saying, "The portal doesn't work," explain the exact problem. "I cannot access my lab results because they are in an inaccessible PDF format," or "I cannot request a prescription refill because the submit button is unlabeled and my screen reader cannot find it." Citing your rights under the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, and Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act, which mandates equal access to healthcare programs and information, can add weight to your request. Remember, the patient portal is offered as a convenience, but your right to access your health information is a legal requirement. This offers a roadmap for taking charge of your digital health information. While the technology may not always be built with us in mind, a combination of technical strategy and firm, informed self-advocacy can empower us to break down these barriers. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
All right. Again, this is some, for me, my portal, when I first started using it, I had a lot of issues with it. And now, again, over time, I've learned how to navigate it. But again, when I first started trying to use it, man, it was a madhouse, And it wasn't just me learning how to navigate it. It was also, having my family come in here. Again, I joke about this all the time. I don't necessarily have a monitor on my computer, but I do have where I can plug it into my TV on the wall. So when I need help, and with their help, I was able to identify, when I need to click on whatever button or whatever that was not labeled.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm good. I can navigate. I can go in there and get my test results. Can I read PDFs within my portal? No. I have to actually download them and then save them in my computer and use a different PDF reader, because not all PDF readers are the same. So, but again, it's important to stay on top of your health. And if you ain't got access to your portal in today's world, man, you're in trouble. Because you ain't going to be able to call up and just get the information you need. You can call up and make an appointment. You can call up and order a ride to come take you to the doctor, all that kind of stuff. But you can't do it through the portal. And that's what the portal was designed for, is for you to be able to do all that stuff within there. But because of the inaccessibility of it, we just can't do it, and again, like the article was saying, you oftentimes will need to go in and, again, if it's not working for you, call somebody, call your insurance company up and say, "Hey, look, that portal is not accessible. Do you guys got a accessibility department or something, that might be able to help me out or whatever? We need an alternative format. I can't go in there and get the information. We got to do something else." they used to send me CDs, that had all the information on it. Well, bottom line, new computers don't even have a CD-ROM in them no more, so you can't even play the CDs. So I can't read, so large print ain't gonna do me. Braille ain't gonna do me no good because I don't read Braille. So bottom line, I got to get this information some kind of way, right? So, and not everybody has somebody they can do the stuff for them,
Right.
So you got to be able to do this stuff on your own. Plus, because of the American Disabilities Act, by rights, by law, they're supposed to make these things accessible to us. So, I say stay on them. If it ain't right, then call and be that squeaky wheel. Make that noise. Get them to fix it just to keep you quiet, get you to shut up. Whatever.
I mean, I hear you. You're right. For me, the portal, like with my primary care physician, when I initially started with her, 15 years ago, it was options whether you want paper or you want a phone call. And I could see, 15 years ago. But now with the portal, I say, I can get in there, but it's confusing to me. So what I ended up doing is once I went back for my next appointment, I had someone visual walk me through and I had a tape recorder where I taped the information, and if I ever needed to get on there, that was fine. But I also had two options to where when I left the doctor's office, I could get the information that had just occurred in letter form, to where I can use one of my applications to read the information and retain it, take a picture of it, and shred it, or get a phone call with that information. So I get the paperwork as I'm leaving and discharging, and then I set up the next appointment. But I also the next week will get a phone call from the nurse, because I had labs done with all that information, to where she calls and goes over everything. This is this is that. And I prefer that. But I can get in the portal. I just prefer a phone call versus going in there. But it will give me a notification to let me know that they did send the information. But the same day they send the information, I get a phone call from the nurse. So it just makes it easier for me that way. And if I have to be referred to, a specialist of some sort that I have never been there before, and they want to add additional information, I'll have them do that at that time while I'm there in the office, and just allocate time, for my transportation back and forth. Because I know, me being by myself at home and trying to talk with them, I don't have two phones where I can actively play in my screen and possibly not lose them. Sometimes that happens. And I don't want to have to be in there trying to listen to what they're trying to tell me and lose them in the process. So I'd rather just be there in the office and utilize them, because somebody gonna help me before I leave here. And that way I know I won't have a problem later on, unless they've upgraded something that just unfortunately I can't access anymore. But other than that, those are just the steps that I follow for me. That works for me, and that's my way of advocating for me. Listen, I need it in this form, I need it in this form, but I also need you to help me to do this. Because sometimes, unfortunately, when I go in a platform or I'm making a new appointment, say for something, my bone is clear. Like when I had found out, I was having problems with my jaw. My jaw was killing me, and they told me I had TMJ, something to where it just hurt when I bit. No longer I'm having that problem, but they didn't. They wanted me to go and fill out an application online, and I'm like, no, I need to come in and have somebody help me with this. I'm not going to do that. So they assured me somebody would be there, and then I get there, and of course there's no one there. She doesn't have time to do that. And I say, well, I'm not going to miss my appointment based on what I was told, that someone, well, you don't have anyone here with you, ma'am. I can't see, but do you see somebody here with me? I mean, come on. No, I've already made these arrangements. So I'm not going to change anything and delay my appointment time based on something I already made plans for. I'm sorry that you didn't get the memo, but I'm not leaving this desk until somebody helps me. And I don't think that that's being aggressive. It's just I'm letting you know I'm advocating for myself. I can have a seat now, but my appointment is in 15 minutes. I'll give you 30. And then, I need to be pulled back because I don't think that I should be having to wait based on something that I already arranged and based on you all not communicating with each other. It's not my fault. So I just, try to advocate for myself that way, but try to spank it sweet and not be ugly, but try to at least get what I need to have done because I'm on a timetable. My ride's coming and I'm not coming back based on something that you said on the phone that you would help me with. I think that's fair. But that's just the things that I do, for me.
I mean, I hear you. Again, myself personally, I mean, I guess that's an advantage of having a computer because I can be on my portal on a computer while I'm talking to people on the phone to make my appointments or whatever. But,
right.
All that kind of stuff. But again, you got to do what's better for you. I'm not going to argue that point. Right quick, Tisha says good morning. It's Wednesday. So good morning, Tisha.
Good morning, Tisha.
But again, we got to do what we got to do. Myself personally, like I said, I can read, get to all of those test results and stuff. I'm not saying that I'm going to understand them. I mean, I get your point, but
right.
I'm blessed enough to have, my daughter being in the medical profession. She's able to understand what all that stuff is, and I've already given her the login to my portal, so she don't go in there, I mean, she might go in there every now and then just to make sure I'm staying on top of my appointments and stuff. Or, Dad, you need me to make this appointment for you? Or did you already make it or whatever, But, if I get test results that I don't understand, then I'll call her up and say, hey, baby, jump in the portal and go look at it. And she'll, all right, hold on. And she'll jump right in the portal and she'll go right there. Okay, well, no, everything's good, Daddy. All your numbers are good, whatever, like you say,
right.
lab results or whatever. She lets me know what's up. She can interpret all that kind of stuff and keep it 100 with me. So I'm blessed to have her, but I mean, again, you got to do what you got to do to advocate for yourself. I mean, again, whoever you're talking to on the phone, they're 9 times out of 10, they're not the people sitting at the desk when you come in there.
Correct.
There's somebody in some back office somewhere, might not even be in that building, So they promising stuff that they get, they just saying it to get you off the line, and then they're gonna let you deal with it when you get there, right?
right.
I mean, again, I do all I can. Mine. When I go in my portal, I got an appointment coming up. A lot of times they want me to go, fill out this, fill out that. I think you just lost me. Hold on.
No, I still hear you. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
okay.
me?
No, well, it just moved me. It just moved me somewhere in the platform there. That's why I said that.
I still
but
can
anyway,
hear you, though. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, like I said, you got to do what you got to do for you. I'm not going to sit there and argue with them. I do what I can do
right.
From the house. And then when I get there, hey, look, I filled everything out. The only thing I couldn't do was sign it because it don't want to, for whatever, your portal is not letting me do the e-signature. I don't know. But if you need me to sign something, you need to have me sign it right now. Other than that, I'm finna go over here and sit down. Matter of fact, can you just, verbally direct me to a seat? Oh, no, I'll come around. I didn't ask you to come around here and help me.
Right.
All I'm asking for some visual interpretation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, well, nowadays with my metas, I don't even do that. I just turn my metas on, get live AI going on. Hey, do you see empty seat? Yeah, guide me to it. Boom, I'm going right there to sit down.
Straight at it. Right.
And I'm good. So I mean, that's just the way I do mine. I mean, again, we got to do what works for us until we can do something better. So for me, that's what it is. That's what I do. Let me get here. I'm trying to get back down there where. Okay, something's happening here.
I still can hear you. I mean, that's always a great thing.
I got that part.
Okay.
Okay, it's not letting me do this.
The promo.
Oh, I know what it is. It stopped playing on Facebook. That's what happened.
Did it? It did it again?
Okay.
Wow.
Well, now I'm trying to get there, so let me see if I can get there this way. I think I might be able to get there now. Let me see. Okay. I'm there. Got it.
All right.
Anyway, we are at the end of this thing anyway. Luckily, I made it there right on time, right?
Hey, that's a good thing. It's a program that is dedicated to blind issues in the community by blind people. So as you hear the pauses and clicks, that's what people have to do. So you're doing what you have to do to keep the show moving.
Anyway, let me go ahead and get these promos out of the way and we'll get into our last article.
All right.
Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be blind? Ever wanted to ask questions but held back, afraid of offending? Blind United invites you to replace that fear with fun, learning and connection at our 4th annual walk. A mile in my shoes challenge. Join us Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Wayfinder Family Services, 50 Angeles, Vista Boulevard, Los Angeles. Experience everyday tax blindfolded, like pouring a cup of water. Try assistive technology like screen reader computers and iPhones. Get a hands-on braille lesson and discover how independence is built every day. Smile, laugh, and learn alongside the blind community. No pressure, just pleasure. Help us build bridges, close gaps, and make connections. Walk a mile in my shoes and see the world in a whole new way.
All right, I love that song.
I do too, Ed.
Little history, the area where we're holding this, the Walk a Mile at Wayfinder Family Services, is actually in an area of LA they call Windsor Hills. It's actually the neighborhood where, for those who've seen the Ray Charles movie with Jamie Foxx.
Right. That's where they shot it?
I'm sorry?
Is that where they shot it?
Well, no, his house is in that neighborhood.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That actual house, that was his house.
Wow.
It's in that neighborhood. Stevie Wonder lives up there. A lot of, high-end black professionals live up there, doctors, lawyers, all kind of stuff. They live in that area called Windsor Hills. So a lot of really multi-million-dollar homes in that area. You wouldn't expect it right in the middle of the hood, right in the middle of South Central LA.
Wow.
it's really, really beautiful around there. So when we go and take that walk, we'll actually be walking through that neighborhood. So you won't see it because you're going to have a blindfold on, but you'll see it when you're coming in and going out, right, in your car, but not while you're taking a walk. But anyway, uh, again, and it kind of a good segue into this next one because, again, when we talk about blindness, most people, they concentrate on, just on the practical aspects of being blind. They don't understand how much, goes into our emotions and all this other kind of stuff when it comes to dealing with our blindness and stuff. So anyway, hopefully this will share a little information with some folks and, you know, make their life a little easier. We'll see. Check this one out.
Hey, Blind United crew. Grab your last cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this third and final article. When we talk about vision loss, the conversation often centers on the practical aspects, learning to use a white cane, mastering assistive technology, or adapting a home for safety and efficiency. While these skills are absolutely vital, there is another journey that every person with vision loss undertakes, one that is often less discussed, but equally important: the emotional and psychological journey. The experience of losing sight, whether suddenly or gradually, can bring a wave of complex emotions, grief, anger, anxiety, and a profound sense of isolation. Acknowledging and addressing this mental health component is not a secondary concern. It is a foundational piece of rebuilding a confident and fulfilling life. It's crucial to understand that the intense feelings that can accompany vision loss are a normal and valid response to a major life change. It is, in many ways, a grieving process. You are grieving the loss of a sense, and with it, perhaps a career, a hobby, or a specific vision of your future. Pretending these feelings don't exist or trying to tough it out can lead to prolonged struggles with depression and anxiety. The first and most powerful step is to give yourself permission to feel what you are feeling without judgment. Recognizing that it's okay to not be okay is the starting point for healing and adapting. One of the most effective resources for navigating this journey is peer support. Connecting with other people who are blind or have low vision can be a transformative experience. Suddenly, you are not alone. You are in a community of people who inherently understand your frustrations and your triumphs. These groups, whether in person or online, provide a safe space to share coping strategies, ask questions, and simply be understood. The shared experience builds a powerful sense of camaraderie that directly combats the isolation that so often accompanies vision loss, reminding you that a full life is not just possible, but is being lived all around you. Beyond peer support, it is essential to know when to seek professional help. Therapists and counselors, particularly those with experience in disability and chronic conditions, can provide invaluable tools for developing resilience and managing anxiety or depression. Furthermore, the journey toward mental wellness is deeply intertwined with gaining practical skills. Mastering orientation and mobility or learning to use a screen reader are not just functional tasks, they are powerful acts of reclaiming independence. Each new skill builds confidence and chips away at feelings of helplessness, directly contributing to a stronger sense of self-worth and a more positive outlook on the future. This brings to light the vital connection between emotional well-being and adapting to vision loss. By embracing peer support, seeking professional help when needed, and celebrating the confidence that comes with new skills, we can navigate the emotional landscape successfully. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Right quick, Paul said good morning. So good morning, Paul. And Tisha, I guess, was commenting basically on the last article. She said she and a couple other folks agree with us. So good morning. And I mean, again, this is what it is, right? So
Good
now,
morning, Paul.
even with this here, I mean, again, people don't realize the emotional basement that we go in when we're actually grieving the loss of our sight. We get caught up in this depression, I'm being honest. I know some people that don't make it out, but one thing I found, even though I was dealing with the depression, when I went to the training center, just being around other people that knew exactly what I was going through was a big, big, big plus, right? Because they already understand, right? But at the same time, because of the training center I was in, we had new people coming in almost every Monday. We only graduated once a month, right? But you stayed there for however many months was needed for you to get it, right? So myself personally, I was there for 7 months. I know some people there were as little as 3 months, right? But the point being, number one, you're in a community of people that understand what you're going through, but you're also within a community of people that are trying to do better and they're trying to regain their independence. And they've already gone through some of the stuff as far as training that you're getting ready to go through. So I mean, they're going to help you. They're going to give you advice. They're going to give you little tips and tricks. All this other kind of stuff. I mean, like with our mobility. I mean, it got to a point to where, after my first couple of weeks, I was noticing in the first couple of weeks, every night, there's a group of people that are just leaving and they're going. I don't know where they're going, but man, I want to go. I don't want to sit here, and I've checked with a couple of folks. Hey, man, what y'all be doing when you leave? Oh, well, we go to the mall or we go down there to Shakey's and get some pizza or, we go here, we go there. And man, I want to go, so, and I found out that, don't get me wrong, my O&M instructors were great. They taught me how to do my mobility by the book, so you understand what it is you're looking for, what you're feeling for, what what information you need to try to retain, all that kind of good stuff. But when it comes to practical use of your mobility skills, ain't nothing like going out with a group of blind people. Okay,
Right.
and to the point to where we literally started calling it mobility trips. When we had to check in and check out at the dorm, right? So when we leave, we had to let them know that we're leaving campus, right? And then, yeah, someone want to get into your business. Where are you going? Oh, well, we're going on a mobility trip. It ain't none of your business where I'm going. I'm grown.
Right.
Once I step out that back gate, I'm on my own, But
Yeah.
bottom line, it'd be a group of us. And like I said, we're traveling in a group so you feel secure and safe because you're traveling with other folks. You're traveling with people that actually have more experience than yourself. Plus in these training centers, you also run, the whole gamut of spectrum vision loss, right? So you got some folks that are partial, high partials that see really, really well, and you got low partials that barely see it all. Then you got the totally blind, But again, those that are high partials, guess what they do? They help out. You know what I'm saying? They literally
Mm-hmm.
do help out. They, hold on, no, wait, you haven't got accustomed to, hearing the flow of the traffic at the signals and stuff like that. Normally it's decided, the high parcels or whatever, they'd be ready. Oh, no, 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 don't step out there yet. It ain't turned green yet, different stuff like that. I mean, we help one another out. We understand that, especially when you're new, you haven't gotten it yet. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
therefore you can't be expected to know everything you need to know, right off the top, right? So they help and they help you perfect your skills. I mean, you get good with people. Sometimes it might be just a couple of you guys, and now you got more time to say, "All right, look, man, what are you listening for?" Okay, I'm listening to the traffic. Okay, you hear the flow of the traffic? It's going past you this way. Okay, well, you hear the traffic now; it's crossing in front of you. You got to pay attention to all these kind of things when you're doing your mobility. What do you do when you get to in a residential neighborhood that don't have signals? It might just have stop signs,
Mm-hmm.
huge traffic, right? You don't know where the stop signs actually are. Which side has got the stop sign and which side don't. So, I mean, again, you just got to kind of learn all this kind of stuff. But again, being in a community having other people you communicate with. I mean, that's a lot of what we do in Blind United, our support groups. We do a lot of, everyday stuff that, mental health stuff, mental well being stuff. But at the same time, because we're all blind, now we can also talk about that aspect of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It brings a different aspect to it, a different point of view to it, because what might work for the sighted folks, it may not necessarily work for us. And we got to have a different way of understanding and how to do these kind of things, a different way to approach these things. So being with a community that's, has been there, done that, can definitely is a big time advantage to the folks that are new, or maybe they've been blind all their life and been sheltered, and all of a sudden their parents realize, well, wait a minute, I'm getting old and this person can't take care of themselves. I need to get them into some training. I've ran into a lot of those.
Mm-hmm.
That even though they've been blind all their life, they don't have any skill, no skills at all.
Right.
So that's what this is all about. So again, Blind United, we try to cover all of those bases. So again, come on over and check us out. We got a lot of good stuff going on. But I mean, again, I dealt with my depression for a while. I didn't have a lot of time to wallow in it because, again, I lost my sight. My wife stepped up, and she was working two jobs. So I had to step up. I had to come out of that depression, per se, and okay, let me do what I can do around the house. I found that I could do a lot of it, and I didn't realize it at the time. But when I got to training center, I kind of had a head start because I had figured out a lot of, especially when it comes to independent living skills. Cooking, cleaning, making the beds, doing the laundry, all those other kind. I had already figured all that kind of stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a cane that I didn't know how to use it, but I mean, I had it, and I was playing with it, and I figured out how to use it from to the best of my ability. So I kind of had a head start on that. So, but once I got to the training center, it all came together. The training, being there with the community, and having communication and conversation with them, as well as sharing tips and tricks. It just made everything so much easier to where when I left there, I was ready to go. I didn't look back, and I'm not looking back now. My
Mm-hmm.
job now is to try to encourage as many people as I can to do all of this kind of stuff. So, it's a great thing. It's
I hear
really
you.
a good thing.
I mean, I had shared on an earlier episode of Coffee Time about my just, fact that I had lost my mother in 16 and my sight in 2021, And in 2016, don't get me wrong, I was grieving the loss of my mother, but I grieved the loss of my sight in 2021 more than my mother. And I had to get some help, take some medication. I was so depressed. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I had a cane, but it's different when you're blindfolded and being taught how to use it versus the fact that I can't see. What am I going to do? So, I had to just pick myself up and get around some people just like me. I was the only blind person I knew. But I knew that, I always lived alone. I know how to cook. I know how to wash. I know how to do all of the things that are just regular routine things that you do. So I had to learn how to do all of that different. And that meant seeking out some help with people that were just like me, because my visual friends and family, they just did not get it. And, they still at times don't get it. And it's not their job to. My job is just to teach them how to better treat me. I can do things. When you get up and go to another room, don't leave me sitting in here. What y'all doing in there?
Right.
Oh, come on. I'm not, even the dog know to get up and follow you. So you don't treat me worse than the dog. I want to follow y'all too. So it's just certain things you have to say with humor, but with honest love, and try to teach them how to better treat you, because they just don't get it. They just naturally get up and go. That's what I did. I wasn't around nobody that couldn't see. Common sense would think that, people would pick up on that. But as you said yourself, everybody ain't got common sense. Everybody ain't got common sense. So what I think should be natural, that people don't do, I don't get upset that they don't do it. I just make it a teaching moment and get up and go if I want to join the crowd. But I'm still trying to learn everything that I can, because, things are just constantly evolving. And you try to get past that sad woe me syndrome. No, I can't drive anymore. I've learned patience and tolerance. Not saying that I was a person that wasn't patient or tolerant, but I was used to just getting in my car and going, or getting on my motorcycle and zoom, I'm out. Now I have to rely on somebody else to take me where I need to go unless I'm walking. So
Right.
I have to learn to just look at things differently. I kind of like being spoiled and riding in the back seat. I like that. They give me a chance to make a few phone calls or do this or that, along the way, if I'm not having a conversation with the driver. So, and I feel a little bit more relaxed. I'm not as tense, unless I got a bad driver. But,
Right.
but,
Right.
it's just learning how to do things differently and enrolling in classes that you may qualify for. A lot of them I don't. So that's why I'm so grateful for Blind United, because based on my work history, the state thinks I make too much money. So unless I'm willing to pay for a class, I don't qualify. So that's why, Blind United has just enhanced me so much, because these classes are offered for free. And if to get involved, I can send a donation. I would happily do that, or buy a t-shirt, or maybe one day I'll get a plane ticket and fly out to one of the events, because it's helped transform my life tremendously, just based on the fact that I don't qualify for some because I worked. So you have to make whatever works for you work for you, and get involved in your own
Well,
life, and focus on you.
and
That's not being selfish. That's just taking better care of you.
a lot of that stuff just depends on where you live as well. So
True. That is
again.
true. That is
So,
true.
but anyway, we at the end of our day today, Carol. So
All right.
we're gonna bring this one to an end. Again, we got a couple of different groups for you. 1 and 2 o'clock, the Blind Kitchen with Deborah Erickson, and then a little bit later on at 5 p.m. we got a AI for beginners. So again, as we said all along, we say it almost every day. Everything we do is for free. So if you want to learn how to play with AI and see how it can help you out in your everyday life, come on in. We'll do that with you. Help you out with that as much as we can. So, on that note, please like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, all that good stuff. It really, really does help the algorithm to move forward. So, on that note, everybody have a great, 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 great day, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow. Have a great one.